It's the most stressful time of the season. What's up, guys? Ruppy here, welcoming you to playoffs. That's right, it's playoff time in the International Battling League, and my Columbus Swoo are going in as the second seed. Ideally, I would love to ultimately come away from this, well, as IBL champion. But obviously, we have a tough road ahead of us to get to that point. Our first round playoff matchup is going to be against an old friend of mine. That being the Uppsala Umbreons, coached by Sven. Now, let me make note of this real quick, as you see my team kind of just chilling out in the locker room here, as I tend to do. Sven did not originally start the season with the IBL. If you recall, back in week 2, we played a team by the name of the Rocky Mountain Heavy Metals. The coach of that team, unfortunately, is one of the many that did end up having to drop this season for one reason or another, which are completely understandable. And Sven ended up stepping in to take over the team. He's been a valuable member of my front office, but now I have to find a way to crack his code, basically. So, switching over to our chalkboard and leaving my my locker room behind for just a sec. Sven has completely overhauled the Rocky Mountain Heavy Metals roster, so this does at least feel like a completely different matchup, which is good because typically, as I've mentioned earlier in the season, when I don't make any free agent transactions to change up my team, rematches are typically not something that goes very well for me. This is technically not a rematch, though. Sven's team is as follows, as you see it appear off to the right there. Hydreigon, Clefable, Toxicroak, Ludicolo, Alolan Dugtrio, Charizard, Pelipper, Cursula, Galarian Mr. Mime, Rotom Frost, and G-Max Drednaw. If anyone has paid attention to Sock's videos and saw the roster changes he made for his Milwaukee Boltons, I think you figured out where all of his rain stuff went to after he ditched it. Sven picked it up and has pretty much made a fairly threatening team out of it, to say the least. G-Max Drednaw, I'll be upfront, is a colossal concern, because I actually have very few switch-ins to this thing, believe it or not. I have tried my best to prep so that I do have answers to it. We will see how well that goes. Cursula is definitely, and Clefable as well, are definitely top of the list as far as checks to my own G-Max. Hydreigon is always a pain whenever I have a roster that yields Kyurem. Pelipper can set the rain, of course. Ludicolo's actually kind of a pain under rain as well. Charizard can get in the way with his base 100 speed, being able to abuse Hurricane in the rain. He definitely has quite a few threats at his disposal, and my front office and I, sans Sven, obviously, because I'm playing him, have done our best to try to figure out a game plan. So, let's see what I've come up with, and fingers crossed that it works. I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely stressed about this. Okay. So the first mon on the docket is Spider Dance, the Galvantula. Went unkilled in the regular season, which I'm glad for. But obviously, playoff time, I might have to get a little riskier with this thing. The last time we played a rain team, which was of course our week 4 game against the aforementioned Milwaukee Boltons, Galvantula was invaluable, even though we actually didn't see rain on the other side of the field. I honestly think rain is more likely in this game just because it makes G-Max Drednaw so much more threatening against me when it can outspeed pretty much everything I have. I'm running Scarf Galvantula just like I did all that time back. The 204 speed EVs are there to allow me to outspeed an adamant max speed G-Max Drednaw under rain with my Scarf. If he runs Jolly, then I might be in trouble. Jolly's a little more manageable from the power department though, but from a speed standpoint, a Jolly G-Max Drednaw is actually a little bit of a problem. Thunder and Volt Switch kind of seem a little redundant. It might seem odd that I don't have Energy Ball in this set, but realistically, Thunder's doing all the damage I would really need it to G-Max Drednaw anyway. Bug Buzz handles Ludicolo. Sticky Web is kind of an emergency option if I need to strip away the boosted speed on his Swift Swimmers, and maybe try to force him into a situation where if he brings Defog, he has to use it, which will kill a turn and allow me to respond accordingly. But I think Spider Dance, just like the last time we played a Rain roster, is going to be invaluable to this game in being a colossal pain for Sven to try to deal with. Speaking of colossal pains, Hesukiya, my G-Max Hatterene. I have a bit of an interesting plan with this one. I have Magic Bounce as the ability to try to prevent his own hazards from going up. I'm running a Trick Room set, obviously, to try to get around his rain. I'm also running Room Service, which will lower my speed by 1 stage in the rain. This might seem a bit unnecessary, but he has a Cursula on his roster, which is just 1 speed point faster than my Hatterene. If he pulls Room Service on me as well, if he were to pull Room Service Cursula on me, Cursula would actually outslow G-Max Hat under Trick Room. And I would really prefer not to be taking Shadow Balls in that instance, because Cursula is stupidly powerful. Dazzling Gleam and Giga Drain are really the only special attacking options I need. Dazzling Gleam is, of course, Stab, and Giga Drain just mows down his rain stuff. Shadow Claw might seem odd, but it's mainly for the more specially defensive checks that he has to G-Max Hatterene, such as the aforementioned Cursula. Cursula really does not want to be taking a Shadow Claw, and especially not a Max Phantasm from a Maxed Hatterene. Well, a physical maxed Phantasm anyway. Next up, I am bringing Cryogenic the Kyurem, because Kyurem is actually kind of a huge problem for his team, and I'm kind of banking on him to treat it as the threat it is, to potentially try to manipulate this match the flow of this match in my favor. Now, I'm kind of banking on Sven, assuming that I'm going to run a Scarf Kyurem, because to be fair, Scarf Freeze Dry actually kind of destroys a significant chunk of his team. And that will it's my hope that kind of forces him into running Scarf Hydreigon, so I can narrow that thing down to something a little more manageable. Kyurem, however, is not running a Scarf. Kyurem is running a Habanberry, so I can take a Draco Meteor from Hydreigon if necessary, and deliver a big hit back with my own Freeze Dry, which is, of course, as I already mentioned, just going to hurt everything. Sub and Roost allow me to be able to kind of get myself into better positions to be able to manipulate matchups on predicted switches. Ironhead, this is a mixed Kyurem, and Ironhead is there really more so for Clefable than anything else. The EVs are all over the place. I tried my best to make this Kyurem as balanced as possible. Freeze Dry is definitely the option I'm going to be clicking most of the time, but I want enough EVs so Ironhead is at least threatening to Clefable and anything else that's Steel Weak on his team that might stand in my way. Like, say, Galarian Mr. Mime, which I could actually see him bringing to potentially try to check Hatterene. Moving on down the list, we have Guardian the Cobalion, who is a potential it's one of my 2 potential breakers/win cons for this game, depending how the game plays out, Hat being the other. I'm running Leftovers just so it can kind of stay healthy, and this is basically just a standard SD set. Ironhead and Close Combat do pretty much everything I would need them to everything on his team. Stone Edge is there primarily for things like the Charizard, just so it can't stand in the way of Cobalion potentially sweeping. Max Attack, some HP bulk. The 196 speed, I believe, is there to guarantee outrun Hydreigon if it's not Scarfed. Actually, no, it's meant to outrun Charizard. So, obviously Scarfs will be a bit of a problem, but I think Cobalion has the bulk needed to be able to tend to that. The Mon in my 5th slot, I actually kind of debated on a little bit. I originally had Rotom in this slot, but ultimately I decided to switch it out for Serena instead. Leftover, so it's getting HP back, because Synthesis kind of seems useless if I'm almost 100% positive he's going to bring rain, and I am almost 100% positive he's going to bring rain to this game. Power Whip basically is my answer to all of his rain stuff. Play Rough is for Hydreigon. You saw how well it worked out the last time I clashed with the original roster that Sven is currently in possession of. U-Turn is there to pivot out, and Rapid Spin is there to get rid of hazards. This is a more bulky Serena. It's meant to take hits and respond. The 20 speed is my attempt to try to speed creep a timid Pelipper that's attempting to speed creep Serena. Because I could see Sven trying to pull that to make sure Serena is not a threat, because, trust me, against Ludicolo and especially Drednaw, Serena is very much a threat. The 44 attack EVs are actually just enough to pretty much still guarantee that a Power Whip will OHKO even Drednaw even when it's maxed, assuming he doesn't have a fair amount of bulk or a, what is it? A, Rindo Berry. That's it, Rindo Berry. I can never remember the names of the resist bears off the top of my head. Though, if he is running Rindo Berry, it's still taking up roughly half, and I can just send another mon in to take care of it accordingly. And last but not least, we have Cog Changer, the Klinklang. Unfortunately, did not finish the regular season with a kill, but it actually is kind of a pain in the ass in this matchup, if you want me to be perfectly honest. Leftovers again to recover HP. This is basically a sub-toxic stalling Klinklang. You've seen me pull this stunt with Salazzle throughout the season. Now it's Klinklang's turn. Gear Grind with 36 attack EVs is fairly decent for being able to do some damage to things. The main goal, of course, is just to get behind a sub, toxic everything imaginable, and use Protect to not only wear them down through the toxic damage, but also, and this one is potentially crucial, stall out Rain. Because the quicker I can get rid of Rain, the easier I think this matchup is going to be for me, in all honesty. So, that is going to be the team. We're going to switch back over to our locker room now. I'm not going to lie, I'm incredibly nervous about this, because that's just how I get in playoffs, of course. It is, as I said, it's the most stressful time of the season, because one loss and our season is all over. But I'm going to go ahead and get a hold of Sven. We are going to get this battle started, and I'll see you guys when it's battle time. Alright, here we are. It is time to do battle with Sven, and see if my playoff run shall get out of the starting gate, or if this is the end of the line for us. Let's do this. Alright, let's see here. Oh, that is... I have actually not seen this since the DLC drop, so... The fact that they actually put the team literally off the side, that's actually really interesting. I actually really like that. Anyway, Clefable, G-Max Drednaw, which is no surprise. He did bring a Alolan Dugtrio. Okay. Toxicroak's not that much of a surprise. Alolan Dugtrio is. I had a feeling he would go hard rate. I am actually surprised not to see Hydreigon here. That stuns me. I thought for sure he'd be bringing Scarf Hydreigon, but there's no Hydreigon to be found. Okay, then. That changes things a little bit. So, him having a Alolan Dugtrio kind of messes with Spider Dance a little bit. So, in that regard, I think I'm going to lead Aram, actually. And see how he wants to play this. I will lead with my Serena. It might eat a hit, but it should be able to take it, and I can U-turn out to do some scouting, or potentially get big damage off on something. So, good luck, have fun, Sven. And let's see which one of us is moving on in playoffs. So, I am leading my Serena. He is going to be leading with... He did lead a Alolan Dugtrio. Somehow, I had a feeling in the back of my head that's what he was going to be doing. Just because of the fact that the Galvantula lead was very likely. So, I severely doubt he keeps this thing in. Because it dies to a Power Whip. And I'm going to U-turn out to get some initiative. Even if he does stay in, he definitely outspeeds me. So I can get an idea of what the plan... Yep, he's going to withdraw. That's perfectly fine with me. Into Postman, which is the Pelipper. So in comes Pelipper. We are getting started with range shenanigans right out of the gate. And you know what? I actually kind of feel like I could probably go into Kyurem here, actually. I'm going to do that. Because I can easily set up a sub on this thing. Pelipper really can't touch me. I mean, Hurricane could probably break a sub, but I can definitely get behind a sub and see how he wants to play this. I would presume he switches out because a Freeze Dry is very likely. And, yep, he definitely does not want to be losing his rain. It's too important to him. And in comes Clefable, which is perfectly fine with me, actually. Because I'm going to be able to get set up safely behind the sub. And now I'm going to be able to fire off an Iron Head on this Clefable. I definitely outspeed it, so depending on what he's got and what his investment is, I might actually be able to two-shot this thing with an Iron Head. Oh yeah, I'm definitely two-shotting with an Iron Head. He's going to Moonblast to break my sub. Now the question is he Leftovers? Yes, he is. Even still, that did well over half, so another Iron Head definitely kills this thing. I'm going to set up another sub, actually. Because I would think he switches to Preserve Clefable. Yes, he does. Which is fair enough. And in's going to come Dugtrio. Which is fine with me. I'm just going to Roost to recover HP. He needs to break my sub. I could definitely do a lot of damage with Freeze Dry right now. But to be perfectly honest, I want to keep this Kyurem healthy. See how he wishes to play it. Plus, I'm basically just kind of draining rain turns right now. I am not... He's an Iron Head. Which is fine. That'll break my sub. Kyurem will be able to get a Roost off. Get its HP back. And then... He's Life Orb. That's good to know. So then, how do I want to contend with Iron Head Dougie? Definitely not. I almost kind of feel like Serena's the play here. And I'm going to do that, actually. He will take more Life Orb Chip. I'm max Fizz Def with Aram, so I can definitely take a hit from this thing. He's an Earthquake, which is perfectly fine with me. Aram takes out much better than it does an Iron Head. So I'm going to get Leftovers recovery back. And then I certainly threaten this thing with a Power Whip. So I'm definitely going to Power Whip this time. Because Pelipper's not going to... If he brings in Pelipper, Pelipper's not going to appreciate it. And the quicker I get damage off on that thing, the more he's going to need to try to preserve it. Or he goes into Toxicroak. That was just as much of a possibility. That Power Whip still did quite a bit. And zero surprise there, he is Dry Skin. I see no black sludge. So in regards to you... You're actually kind of a... This Toxicroak's actually a tiny bit of a problem. Because I definitely need Aram. How much time do I have left? I'm good to think. Okay. He could probably SD, and I would not be surprised, actually. You know what? I'm going to U-turn out. I'm going to make a crazy play. I'm expecting him... He's Nasty Plot! Well, hello, Nasty Plot Toxicroak. So I'm going to be able to U-turn out, get a little more chip off. On the, well, that chip's actually going to kind of be undone by... Okay, so knowing that this thing is Nasty Plot, actually... If I were to go into Cobalion right now... Ironhead's not doing a whole lot to it. What about Galvantula? Yeah, I think Gallop's the play here, because I really don't think he's getting enough HP back with well, no dry skin anyway. He's definitely not doing too much to me with a Vacuum Wave, and this Thunder should kill. If he switches into a Alolan Dugtrio, fair play. But I really think... Well, let's see how he wants to play this. This Toxicroak took quite a bit of damage from Serena. So I think I'm actually in the clear for... Because Gal definitely threatens this thing. If he goes into Alolan Dugtrio, that's fine. I can just go back into Serena. But I really don't want to overpredict while this thing is in here, because this thing is actually a bit of a problem. He's just going to Vacuum Wave, which is fine. That does almost half. He's Life Orb. So I'm pretty sure this Thunder will definitely kill this Toxicroak. And indeed it does. Okay, that is actually really good. So Alolan Dugtrio is definitely coming in now. There is no two ways about that. But I think by now he's got to know this Gal was probably Scarf. And I'm just going to go back into Aram. Because Aram definitely takes any hit from this Alolan Dugtrio and threatens it out with Power Whip. He's gonna Toxic me! Okay. So that kind of creates a... a bit of a problem. Because Serena's not in as good of a spot as it once was. But that's still fine, honestly. Because I can just clip Power Whip. This Alolan Dugtrio dies. Drednaw dies. Ludicolo's not going to appreciate it. I really don't think Pelipper's appreciating it. He would have to take more damage on Clefable, and just seeing the investment from Ironhead, I don't know if Clefable could actually take it. He's going to go Pelipper, which is fine with me. I can actually get some intel on how bulky this thing really is. Survey says that did roughly about what I was expecting, so I think he is a fully bulky Pelipper. Which is fine with me. I think I'm going to flat switch into Cryogenic, actually. I kind of don't want to test the waters just yet with risking Serena eating a Hurricane, depending on how he tried to invest this Pelipper. If he U-turns, he might just U-turn out. Nope, he's gonna Roost, which is actually fine with me. So he's back to full. He definitely wants to keep this thing healthy. There's actually really nothing stopping me from just clicking Freeze Dry right now. And I'm actually going to do that. The only thing Freeze Dry isn't killing is Clefable, but that thing dies to an Iron Head. So, that is the end of Pelipper, which is huge. So now all I have to do is stall out the rain, and I am in a significantly good spot right now. And in comes the Drednaw. I am there. There is no surprise there at all. Okay. So I have a bit of an interesting idea here. I honestly feel like compared to what he's got left, Cog Changer is actually not as useful anymore. So I'm going to switch into Cog Changer to see how he wants to play this, because I'm almost 100% certain he's going to max. Or he could get up in SD, but once the rain is gone, this Drednaw is a lot more manageable. I'm going to send Cog Changer out, see what he wants to do. He is going to SD. So I could have definitely killed this thing with a, That is fine. Because I'm going to click Protect, actually. I know I will still take damage through it, but it's stalling out a rain turn and potentially keeping Kling Klang around a tiny bit longer to deplete rain turns, which is invaluable right now. This Drednaw is definitely a tide turner. And a significant problem because of it. Let me see something, actually. So I'm going to Protect. As he Stone Surges. Which Cog Changer is going to be able to live. And it's going to set rocks up, which is fine. Okay, this thing is definitely a problem at this point. He has 3 turns left of rain that I need to stall out right now. I'm going to make the attempt to try to double Protect here. Just to try to deplete more rain turns and more of this thing's max. I actually got the double Protect! Wow! Okay, I'm sorry about that, Sven. I know that it is, a little scummy, but obviously I've got to make the plays that are going to actually try to pull this out for me. So Cog Changer is still sitting here somehow. There's no way I'm getting a third Protect in a row, so I'm just gonna let Kling Klang go down here. Yep, he's just gonna Stone Surge again. So this thing's max is definitely gone. I am gonna lose Kling Klang. But Liquidation would actually still kill, and I think he's got at least one more turn of rain. Okay. Let's see how I play this. At this point, I think I'm going to go Cryogenic. Because this thing's max is burned. Once the rain is gone, I can definitely outspeed and kill it with for sure with Galvantula. Okay. So I have... It's one more turn of rain, right? Yeah, only one more turn of rain. So Kyurem is definitely going down. I'm just going to click Freeze Dry on the off chance he goes for a Stone Edge and misses. But I don't think Kyurem is as useful. I mean, Freeze Dry definitely kills everything he has left. But I think I can manage without Kyurem. So he's going to Stone Edge, and I am going to lose Kyurem. I'm so sorry, Cryogenic. But the rain is now gone, so I should be able now to go into Galvantula. Actually, I may have a better idea. I'm going to go into Guardian, actually. Because of close combat, because here's the thing. That is taking an awful long time to communicate. I don't like that. Okay, there we go. Good. I got worried there. Okay. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and click Close Combat. It should kill Drednaw. It definitely kills Alolan Dugtrio. If he brings in Clefable, I can just switch to Iron Head. And Ludicolo should drop to 2 of them. So, Drednaw is gonna drop. Okay, Drednaw is off the table. That is perfect. So, Alolan Dugtrio is definitely coming in right now. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Because it's definitely outspeeding this Cobalion. Yep, there is Dougie. Gotta be careful. Gotta be a little careful with how I play this, actually. I'm gonna go to Aram. Because Aram should still be able to take a hit from this thing, and I can just Power Whip. I know rocks are up from Stone Surge. He's going to EQ, which Serena definitely takes. I think with the leftovers Toxic thing factored in, I believe I'm out of range of dying to an Iron Head. Let me see where I'm at with this. I'm at 74. Yeah, I am definitely out of... I'm definitely going to Power Whip. I am out of range of an Iron Head kill. He's just going to withdraw into... I believe that's Ludicolo. Which is not going to appreciate this Power Whip in the slightest. Okay, so now the real question becomes, how do I want to play this? He's definitely going to Ice Beam and probably probably aim to kill me. Let me see something real quick. Okay, I think I have a plan. I'm gonna Rapid Spin to try to get rid of these rocks, just to make this work a little better. I actually get the spin off. I outspeed this thing. I was actually not expecting that. Okay. That changes things a little bit. I was not expecting to outspeed this thing at all. He's a bulkier one. He must have been Rain Dish. I'm gonna U-turn because it actually kills this thing from this range. And then I can use Serena as setup. Well, I can use Serena as death fodder. Okay. I'm gonna go into Spider Dance. I know this is the point where Spider Dance is probably gonna eat its first kill of eat its first death of the season. But this Alolan Dog Trio is still a problem. So I have two options here. I could Bug Buzz for damage and let Spider Dance go down. Well, Spider Dance's going down either way here. Or I can Sticky Web to try to slow this thing down if I can force it to switch. I'm gonna Bug Buzz for the damage. I honestly think that's my better play here. I'm gonna almost take this thing out. He's gonna EQ and kill me. I'm sorry, Galvantula. It was fun while it lasted with you not dying, but now I send Serena back in. Because Serena is definitely getting a kill here. From that range, I think even a... Play Rough is more accurate, actually. You know what? I'm gonna U-turn, actually. It's... Alright. I keep forgetting Dog Trio outspeeds. And it's more Life Orb damage. So, how do I play this? So I need this... Definitely need this Dog Trio to die. Okay. I was gonna wait to try to get Trick Room up, but at this point, I think the real end game here is just maxing, straight up maxing Hat. Because I definitely live in Iron Head. I'm gonna max and max Overgrowth. I'm not gonna be able to Trick Room, honestly. But at this point, the Trick Room service strat is actually not as useful because he didn't bring Cursula. But I can definitely take a hit from Alolan Dog Trio here and definitely kill it. Or it's just gonna... Okay, it's just gonna die of its own... okay, that's fine. So, no Overgrowth for me, but that's fine because all he has left is Clefable, which, even if it can 1v1 Hat, it can't beat Cobalion. I believe we're moving on. There is no way Clefable can 1v1 Cobalion. Even if he's still at full health, Flamethrower shouldn't be killing me. And even still, he can't outspeed anyway. This? Okay. I'm gonna Smite. Because it's the best thing I've got to hit this thing with. Well, it's the most powerful move I have to hit this thing with. Even if it is Max Spadef. It might actually kill from this range, pending where his investment's at. And if not, it will cause confusion, which will kind of make my job a little easier. Though, as I said, at this point, Cobalion should be able to beat this. Hello? So this is the game we're playing now. It's still not enough to live Oh. That's why. Oof. I'm sorry for the crit, Sven. GG all the same, but I am incredibly sorry for that crit. That definitely mattered, because I think it was probably a roll to kill regardless with the smite. But I still think Cobalion, depending on... Let me see real quick, actually, because you took a lot of damage from Curum's Iron Head, and Cobalion was max attack, actually. Yeah, I think Cobalion's Iron Head might have been able to do it, even if you were +1 after, Yeah, Cobalion might have been able to pull that one off still. So, my ridiculous, playoff hacks luck continues. Either way, though, we do get the win over Sven. GG all the same, but I'm still sorry for that crit at the end, though. But that is going to do it. My Columbus Swoo are going to advance onwards in playoffs. And now it's on to the next week. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been Ruppy. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.